Welcome back to Watch Talk. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Tag Heuer again on this channel. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about a story I did back my first ever video on this channel. I reviewed this Tag Heuer. I have another one to show you today. And we're going to be explaining why people in the watch community don't go crazy for Tag Heuer, because Heuer's rich with history. It's famous for being a great brand with movie stars and people all alike. Now Leonardo DiCaprio is their head sponsor, but before, if we look at Steve McQueen wearing the Monaco, one of the most famous watches in racing. Heuer was a racing brand and they were very famous for that. We'll go into more horology and the actual brand itself in a little bit, but let's jump into it. I want to flip the camera and compare these two. Welcome. So yeah, you're seeing my face. This is a day later from the footage I'm about to show. I actually filmed this twice because when I was watching it and I started hitting the chronograph, it wasn't going all the way home. So I thought it was broken and that would have been a huge thing in the video, but no, actually with these quartz chronographs, Seiko and other places, you have to reset them. So I reset it. It's a day later, figured it all out, and I'll pop in the footage now. Why isn't it not going back? Hold on. There. Should go to 0. Why is it? What? Hold on, guys. So welcome back a day later now. After doing all that, I found out we have to fix these over time. So now let's talk about these two watches. And I want to talk originally in this video about the comparison of the prices from retail. And this is why I think nobody loves Tag Heuer. People like Tag Heuer. You know, Heuer's respected, but Tag really in the watch community is looked down upon. They honestly have the cheapest tourbillon, and I'll show it here. They have the cheapest tourbillon. I think it's only 11,000. Which is very, very good for a tourbillon. We're talking tourbillons are typically, they're very, one of the most complex complications in a watch when we think about it. Now, there's a whole thing about how they're irrelevant now because people can, actually, it doesn't really work when you're moving it around. It only worked in pocket watches, but that's a whole debate. I just think it's a very neat conversation piece. It's a very cool watch. So these both watches are pretty different, but very similar in the same way. They're 316L stainless steel, the bezels on both of them. The bracelet is an oyster style. This is actually an integrated bracelet. If you see, it goes into the case. So, yeah, so you can't really change this one out. And I was surprised that they did that. There are differences, too, with this. Of course, this is chronograph, which I had the issue with last time filming. And this is just the time with the second hand and the date complication. So this has a date, this has a date and a chronograph complication, which would be very impressive for $1,500 if it was mechanical, but these are quartz. So with these, they're both sapphire, no display case backs, but this one actually is less than the other, but this has a milled clasp. Let's take a look at it. It's very hard to pull out though. Very, very hard. There we go. So that it's a proper, milled clasp. It has Tag Heuer on it, but here it just has the serial number and just a, screw down case back. I worked on a Tag Heuer. I worked on a friend's Tag Heuer and replaced the battery. And in one of my other videos, similar to this, around the same size, 34 and the 39 millimeters. This is an aqua racer and it has the diver in the back. I did a full length review on this watch if you want to see it too. So, the question I asked myself is, why is it not loved? There's no real definitive answer. There's multiple reasons. Maybe because they really don't know where they're at right now. They have their, they have their high end with the tourbillon. They have, I'll show pictures here. They have their, more technology, which was, pretty advanced for a Swiss brand to jump on. But like they're kind of like their Apple Watch, but, it's a little different. It's Tag Heuer. And then they put their Monaco line, which is one of my favorites. because of Steve McQueen. He made it iconic, and I think it's their most iconic piece, that squared shape, which is very nice, but they run around 4,000, and that's a lot of money for that. For relative, though, you know, it's a very, very cool watch. This watch, as you can see, has the 3 different sub-dials. That's the seconds, that's the split second time, and then that's the minutes there. So it's very, you know, we could start it, and it does a very neat thing I'll show you. So when it's ticking, I only see this with Seiko. Say we stop it, right? And then we reset it, goes all the way around, which is really, really nice. I like the sweeping. You know, it screams very classy. I only seen on Heuer's is the brush stainless steel bezel, 120 clicks, very solid, no backplay. This is a really cool bezel because you don't see it on many watches. So yeah, they have special things like the bezel, as I said, and the sweeping chronograph, which is really neat, but it doesn't justify the price. I think the retail price, I'll be honest right now, is the primary reason why collectors don't respect it as much. And the quartz. Both of these pieces are quartz movements. When we think about luxury watches, typically we don't think of quartz. Grand Seiko is an exception, of course. You know, FP Journe, it sleeps the actual quartz. Very cool watch. I'll talk more about FP Journe in another video, but I think he makes one of the best watches in the world, one of the best brands out there. Very, very cool. So coming back to these, right? The loom is great on this. It's okay on here. You get it a little bit on the hands and the pip. You know, it has the rotating bezel. Very hard to actually get a grip on this. If I don't know how to explain it, but it's all polished and there's little divots, but it doesn't, like, I can't even get it all the way around. Very, very hard. I believe this is domed sapphire. I think it's a little bit domed. It doesn't go. Very, very, very hard to move this. Very hard. But let's try to get it back because I know people out there like seeing the pip at the 12. There we go. Now it's, there we go. I got it back now. So yeah, these both two, I think this at a $500 price point would be good because 39, most guys can wear 39. I think 39 is a great millimeter. It's also in the Rolex Explorer. I will make a video on the Rolex Explorer because I think that's the best everyday piece, you know. This could be a very good everyday piece for around, I paid $350 on this. If you watch my original video, I'll link the original one in the description. And yeah, so $350 everyday piece, great. You know, you don't mind it's a quartz because it is everyday. And the battery changes a couple bucks, right? So a couple bucks every, year, 2 years or so. Bracelet lasts. It's, you know, a little jingly. It's not solid though, end links, and it's a press clasp. So yeah, you're sacrificing things, but we have to realize this is 2001, and I believe this is early 2000. So Tag Heuer has changed a bit. They're trying to get back into the game now. And what does these old pieces mean? I think you can get them at a good discount. Do I recommend? I'll show a couple pictures from eBay, and they're going for like, I don't know, $200-300, even $400, some of them. Like these. Personally, they look like swatches to me, you know, like why get like this one? Or, you know, here's another example. I'll pop up pictures. Really? Like, do you like that? It's more of a fashion. Here, it's not as fashion. You know, they have the unique bezel. They have some parts that are, you know, pretty unique to Tag Heuer. Doesn't just blend in right away, but yeah. When you see this on somebody's wrist, you're not going to be like, whoa, that's so impressive, as you would with a Rolex. Or maybe you like that. Maybe you're a guy who doesn't care too much about the horology or history, and that's why these sell. Because they wouldn't be making these watches if Tag didn't sell them, right? So this sells to a guy who doesn't care too much about horology, which is okay. And he just likes, you know, he likes having his watch very durable, you know, quartz hardness. It's very hard. You can smack it around. And he just doesn't, he just wants a nice piece on. And that's what Tag Heuer's about. that for these type of models. I'm not saying for all the models. Now this is a different story. I think a woman can wear this. It's a little small for a man. This is a little too small, but I think if you want to pull it off, go ahead. Tag actually lists this as a boy's watch. It's a boy's watch, so it's 34 millimeters. I don't know, the 4 o'clock date window, they had to put it down because of the chronograph, but do you think it's better without it? It's a debate. I don't know. You know, it all depends on your taste. If you like these two watches, go ahead, purchase them, but just don't be sure if you don't buy them at retail, right? And if somebody buys this at retail, you can't ever sell it. It's like Hublot. I think the only two that really keep their value over time is Rolex and Patek Philippe. Honestly, those two brands are well known. I think AP Royal Oak is also a very good one. There's other, brands out there, but if you like Tag Heuer, go ahead, buy it. Be sure not to pay retail, and if you do, just don't sell these watches, Don't sell them and just wear them to death, because that's the only way you're going to get any value out of these watches. I also want to bring up, like, on this watch, too, it just feels like they put a strap on it, right? And it just doesn't connect. I don't know. I felt high-end pieces. And I bought this watch. I think this was, quote-unquote, my first luxury watch. This is the most expensive watch I ever bought. I'll be honest with you. Saving up for, it was very exciting for me to first get it. I like it. Do I enjoy it? I wear it a lot, right? I know I'm not getting value out of this piece, even though I paid $350. A jeweler, I went to two different jewelers for these pieces. I paid, I think, around $200 for this, and I gave it a gift as a family member. Paid $200, and a jeweler told me, it was a retail jeweler, he said $75. He says he'll give me $75. I said no thank you. I didn't have any. I had a couple extra links on this, but I didn't really have a box or papers. Also on this one, I didn't pay for box and papers, because honestly, I think the box and papers cost more than the watch. Honestly, online, the box does. So that's crazy to me. Crazy. But yeah, so I took this one to another jeweler. He offered me $175. So that's what I want to say. So Rolex, I would be offered, close to a proper value. With these, not so much. But that gives us an opportunity on YouTube and the collector out there to pick these up for very, very decent price. Enjoy it. Love it. If you want a quartz piece, this is a great addition to the collection because it's not too expensive used. I'm only talking used, but they should become in-house again, honestly. But if they don't think they need to, they can just keep getting Eddas or whatever they put in their calibers. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. It really does help the channel to produce more content for you, because I do enjoy this. I love watches. Also, tell me if you like Tag Heuer down in the comments, and tell me if you don't, because honestly, Tag Heuer is a debate. It's one of the debates in the watch community. You can get it for a steal on the used market, but the consumer right away out the gate doesn't get the best deal. Thanks all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.